So this billionaire sex offender could have been sitting on billions in Bitcoin right now if he'd just gone all in back when it was cheaper than a Starbucks latte. I mean, imagine the irony. The guy who loved shadows and secrets, quietly becoming crypto's ultimate ghost whale. Get ready, because we're diving into newly leaked emails that show Epstein was sniffing around Bitcoin as early as 2011, rubbing elbows with tech elites, and maybe even shaping origins. This isn't conspiracy fodder. It's documented drama straight from the DOJ's 2026 file dump. Stick around. You won't believe how close this creep got to the heart of Bitcoin. Meet Jeffrey Epstein, that infamous financier from Brooklyn, New York, who by his 50s had already built a twisted empire of wealth, islands, and underage scandals. Born in 1953, he was the kind of guy who dropped out of college but somehow ended up teaching physics at a fancy private school, only to pivot to Wall Street wizardry, rubbing shoulders with billionaires like Bill Gates and princes from Saudi Arabia. Post his 2008 conviction for, prostitution involving minors, that's code for way worse stuff, Epstein didn't fade away. Nah, he doubled down on secrecy, jet-setting between his Manhattan mansion and that creepy little St. James Island, always one step ahead of the law. He craved power, influence, and anything that screamed untouchable. Let's talk about Bitcoin, this shiny new digital gold that promised anonymity and freedom from banks. Epstein saw it as a perfect toy for his shadowy games, discreet wealth moves without Big Brother watching. But here's the quirk. For a guy obsessed with brains and breakthroughs, he nitpicked Bitcoin like a picky eater at a buffet, calling it brilliant but flawed. Ironic, right? The flaw master spotting flaws in crypto while ignoring his own massive ones. He wasn't just some casual observer, though. Epstein wanted it on the ground floor, networking like it was his full-time job, which, let's be real, it kinda was. Picture this. A convicted creep emailing Silicon Valley hotshots, begging for intros to Bitcoin's OGs. It's almost comical how he played the curious intellectual card, all while his life was a dumpster fire of allegations. It all sparked in 2011, when Bitcoin was this weird internet experiment barely 2 years old, swinging wildly from $30 highs to total crashes. Epstein, fresh off his slap-on-the-wrist sentence, shoots off an email on June 12 calling a brilliant idea riddled with serious flaws. Ha! Pot meat kettle. Talk about projection. But he didn't stop at opinions. He wanted connections. He hits up investor Jason Calacanis. I would like to get in touch with the Bitcoin guys. Boom. Calacanis hooks him up with devs like Gavin Anderson, a Bitcoin core whiz, and Amir Taki, this anarchist coder cooking up dark wallet for ultimate privacy. Taki later spills that Epstein was fishing for information, not cash, but dude declined hard. Smart move, Amir. Meanwhile, Epstein's total transaction volume in Bitcoin land? Under $100 million globally. Tiny pond, big fish eyeing it. That same year, Epstein links up with Brock Pierce. Remember him? Former child actor turned crypto kingpin, co-founder at Tether, and all that jazz. Their bromance starts at Epstein's Mindshift conference on his infamous island, where elites gab about tech amid other activities. Pierce, with his own sketchy past, will circle back, becomes Epstein's crypto whisperer. Fast forward to 2013, Bitcoin's blasting past $1,000, and Epstein's emails heat up. He's chatting with Boris Nikolic, Bill Gates' ex-tech guru, under the subject, who uses Bitcoin now? Probing adoption like a mad scientist. Even A16Z Steven Sinofsky brags to him about 50% gains on his Bitcoin stash, sharing articles like at homework. By 2014, Epstein's ready to play. He drops $3 million into Coinbase Series C round valuation, a measly $400 million back then, brokered by Pierce and Blockchain Capital's Brad Stevens, with Coinbase co-founder Fred Ehrsam even requesting a meetup. Oh, and he funnels cash into Blockstream too, that Bitcoin software firm, linking him to Adam Back, Hashcash inventor and Bitcoin precursor god. Emails show Epstein hosting back on his island, casually emailing Taki. Are you still playing in the Bitcoin space? I have Andy back on my island this weekend. Creepy island vibes meet crypto dreams. He's discussing Bitcoin's very definition with Peter Thiel, weaving his web through Silicon Valley elites like Reid Hoffman and Larry Summers. All this while using opaque Virgin Islands entities to dodge scrutiny. The bait was set. Epstein, the ultimate networker, positioning himself as crypto's silent puppet master. Until 2015, when things get ethically murky. Bitcoins and its block-size wars, debates over scaling that could have split the chain, and the Bitcoin Foundation starving for funds. Enter Epstein's generosity. He donates over $850,000 to MIT from 2002 to 2017, but post-2015, that cash indirectly props up MIT's digital currency initiative. We're talking salaries for Bitcoin core devs like Anderson, Vladimir Vanderlaan, and Corey Fields. Joy Ito, MIT's Media Lab boss, forwards Epstein's summaries on Bitcoin governance, how just 5 devs control the code. Epstein visits MIT 9 times, codenamed Voldemort, to keep it hush-hush. Pause for effect. A sex offender bankrolling the backbone of decentralized money? The irony is thicker than a blockchain. However, the pivot hits harder in 2016. Epstein emails a Saudi royal advisor proposing Sharia-compliant cryptos, boldly claiming, "I have spoken to some of the founders of Bitcoin who are very excited." Founders? Like plural? This unverified flex fuels wild Satoshi theories, though timelines debunk him as creator. Beat. Imagine the chaos if he bought big. $3 million at 2011's $30 peak? That's 100,000 BTC, worth $10 billion today. Or 2014's $500. 6,000 Bitcoins, $600 million now. But nah, he dabbled, viewing Bitcoin as a clever evasion tool, not freedom fighter fuel. And then the ethics crack. By 2017, his Amazon logs show buys of books on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and blockchain, nerding out amid crypto's boom. But he warns pals against buying, calling it overvalued. 2018. He sells half his Coinbase stake for $11 to $15 million profit, pocketing gains as the platform explodes. Emails reveal worries about questionable ethics in pumps, given his high profile. He quizzes Steve Bannon on crypto taxes and skirting campaign finance. Bannon hooks him up. A Manhattan meet with Pierce and Summers? Summers frets rep risks if prices tank. The turning point. Epstein's web starts unraveling, his influence peaking just as scrutiny builds. It's like watching a house of cards in slow-mo. Dramatic, inevitable, and kinda satisfying. The fallout? Epstein dies in 2019 under suspicious circumstances, his $577 million estate spilling no crypto beans. But who knows what shadows hid? No blockchain crimes pinned on him, but the taint lingers. Blockstream and MIT scramble to distance. No direct ties, they claim, but the files say otherwise. Pierce? Mentioned 1,800 times in the dumps, more than anyone. His own DN scandals from 2000, allegations of messing with kids. Charges dropped. Make the duo a match made in hell. Cut to 2025. The Epstein Files Transparency Act drops, leading to 2020's DOJ bombshells. 3.5 million pages, exposing unlogged meetings, underreported MIT cash, and Bitcoin's tainted roots. Crypto Twitter erupts. Epstein funded Bitcoin devs? No wonder it's centralized. Communities reflect on diligence fails, how elites like Gates, multiple post-conviction meets, and Musk Island visit plans ignored red flags. Emotionally, it's heartbreaking for victims. Epstein's money indirectly boosted a tech meant for liberation, but stained by exploitation. Long-term, Bitcoin thrives, hitting over $100,000 in 2025, but down to $60,000 this month. Whispers of shadow influence persist. Devs like Taki, they dodged a bullet, but the ecosystem grapples with its dark origins. One mini-scene, a Bitcoin conference panel in 2026, where speakers awkwardly sidestep Epstein questions. Another, victims advocates suing MIT for blood money. And Pierce? Still crypto royalty, but forever linked. It's funny how hindsight has 2020 its vision, but your moral compass doesn't. Moral of the story? Power and innovation make strange bedfellows, especially when the bed's on a private island. Epstein's tale shows crypto's Wild West wasn't just code. It was a playground for flawed and the filthy rich. Fear and greed? Same coin, different sides. But hey, Bitcoin survived, proving decentralization beats one creep's meddling. It's a reminder. Vet your heroes or your wallet and soul might pay the price. Would you have taken Epstein's call if you were a Bitcoin dev?